a story cropped up at the weekend in the Sunday Telegraph. Sure, you noticed it. It was a Muslim matchmaking site, dating site for men, Muslim men, offering virgin Muslim brides, with the caveat that if you got one under the age of 30, that would be like the top whack. But if a woman wanted to be on this site and she's over 30 and she's a Muslim, she has to expect she could only be maybe the second or the third wife, you know, because she's old goods. You see, they literally use the word product. Old product. Yeah. Now, in this video, to advertise this vile dating service, if you like, not really a dating service, it's just a sort of recruitment service for wives for Muslim men. It contained instructions on how to beat your wife. One guy very generously saying, well, you don't actually beat them with a baseball bat or anything like that. You just sort of hit them. Then a doctor crops up, an alleged doctor. He's the medic of the video, to say, well, of course, I'm medically qualified. I can tell you, of course, that women are intellectually inferior to men, and so on and so forth. Now, it's that kind of cultural invasion that we should be very, very careful about. And what I'd like to say about this website is I would suggest that misogynistic instructions on how to beat your wife must be against the law. Why don't we pursue this dating site?
Do you know what, Kevin? I raised this question today in the Houses of Parliament. So in the justice questions, I stood up and I asked the Secretary of State for Justice whether or not she, as a Muslim woman, would agree with me that this website, I called it the Halal Bride website, was utterly unacceptable in this country, that there was no place for this stuff in Britain. And do you know what? She would not. She would not agree.
Didn't agree with you?
Acceptable.
Didn't agree with you?
No. Do you know what she told me? So she's telling the nation, because this is in the Houses of Parliament, in questions to the Justice Secretary, she told me that it wasn't anything to do with her. It was to do with website controllers and laws or whatever, and therefore it was a question for the Home Office. How absolutely disgraceful. She should be ashamed of herself. Yet again, the Labour government refusing to answer a question that I put to them. I've asked 6 questions in 9 weeks, and they've not answered any of them.
Well, how can we forget?
This was a disgrace.
How can we forget your debut question about burqas, where the Prime Minister just sort of, I won't be following her down that line. I mean, how about answering the damn question? By the way, what I was saying earlier about this disgusting Muslim matchmaking site, it says that women under 35 are promoted as ideal first wives. Those older are likened to, and this is a quote, low quality products.
Low quality product. I obviously saw that myself. This is sickening stuff, and it's invading our culture, and this should be absolutely banned. I asked our own Secretary of State for Justice, a Muslim woman, if she would stop this, and she refused to agree that she would stop this. These are the people that are running this country, Kevin. What does this say about the misogynistic culture that is creeping into this country? We have to stop it. And you're absolutely right. This is coming from people established here as British Muslims. They're established here as legal immigrants. Now, how frightening is that? Because what do we do about that? Well, I'll tell you what we do about it. And by the way, do we think there's any Sharia courts in operation? I bet there are.
Yeah, I bet so.
This is an insidious problem. Our prisons are being overrun now by Islamic extremists. We only heard, didn't we, in recent days that defendants are being released with the ability to make bombs. Oh my goodness, this is a frightening situation. And I get accused of stirring up race hatred and all this nonsense. No, I'm saying it as it is. Do not be in denial over this issue. This is a big issue and we need to start tackling it. And stuff like this website should be absolutely banned, and the perpetrators behind this website should be in jail.
Yeah, probably, as I say, instructions on how to beat your wife. If that's not illegal, it damn well should be. In fact, it is illegal. So I think this website should be pursued. The people involved in it should be pursued. Can I ask you a last question, Sarah? Great to talk to you as always. Basically on the same kind of topic. It is Angela Rayner's increasing campaign plan to bring in an official legal definition of Islamophobia. The Policy Exchange think tank has today come up with a report which says, of course, it's a huge threat to freedom of speech that would hand, they say, and I'm quoting here, a significant new weapon to a Muslim group that's devoted to shaping media reporting of the religion. That's an outfit called the Centre for Media Monitoring. And what they do, I know from personal experience, they constantly complain about anything that the press say, that I say, or newspapers say about Muslims that you might interpret as derogatory. So they're very, very vigilant. The Policy Exchange saying that that Angela Rayner's plan to bring in this definition of Islamophobia will be a threat to freedom of speech, in that if it comes in, don't forget she's got a big working group, got a massive great working group working on this, led by the dreaded Dominic Greaves, so I can't say worse than that. If it comes in, we'll be able to, you and I, or citizens of this country, we'll be able to laugh at Christians, take the mickey out of Buddhists, criticise Hindus, really lay into, say whatever we like about all the other religions. But if you criticise or make fun of Islam, you're off to jail. Why are they getting special treatment like this? And why would any religion in a free country get this special treatment? And we know it's because Labour are obsessed with the Muslim vote. But this is sinister and this is wrong, isn't it?
Well, it is sinister and it is wrong. And just frame it this way, Kevin. If this type of stuff becomes law, you and I will not be having this conversation, because if we do, we'll be in jail. But I'll tell you what, I will always carry on having this conversation. I'm not afraid of this stuff, and somebody has to stand up against what people like Angela Rayner are bringing into this country, because this is two-tier justice. Why should the Muslim element of our society be treated any differently to anybody else?
Absolutely. Exactly.
And that's the basis of justice. And as a magistrate of 20 years, that was the whole foundation of justice. It doesn't matter what your faith is, or what your sex is, you are treated the same. And if we take that away, which we are taking away with two-tier justice now in every element, I would just look, I've got two constituents at the moment. I've got my very own two Lucy Connollys, if you like. I saw one last Friday, I'm seeing another this Friday. 30 months for, just either side of 30 months they got, for not even anything like as insightful as what Lucy Connolly put down. Straight off to prison, no bail, didn't see their families. Absolute disgrace what's going on. And yet, there's reluctance to sort out the Manchester bombing stuff. There's not the Manchester bombings, I beg your pardon, the Manchester attacks, the Muslim attacks on the police at the airport. How long has that taken to be brought to justice? And yet these guys were whisked off within 3 days. Yeah. They found themselves in prison. This is two-tier justice. And the other thing that Angela Rayner is, she's clearly obsessed with dictating what we talk about, because apparently now there's a rule coming in, isn't there, where you can't have a chat at the coffee machine about anything. Oh, banter. Because there's going to be spies now. There's going to be spies in the workplace.
In case you say anything that might be offensive to any of your colleagues, I'll tell you one thing, Sarah. If that comes into play, I'm in big trouble.